One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart steel and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar. Insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he paves his way. A legend in the making, day by day.
Good morning, Vietnam. Hopefully everyone's enjoying themselves so far. Definitely know the hell we are, man. Happy hump day to everybody in the chat here. Listen, we've got quite a humongous lineup for this morning, and the way that I consolidated this on the title is Russia, Ukraine latest, LAX protest, and more. So there is a lot more to the story than just that. So let me go ahead and just give you guys the quick rundown of what we're looking at here. So Trump, tremendous progress on Ukraine peace talks. That's coming from Trump, tremendous progress, which of course we all know that. We talked about that for the last couple of days, but there was humongous news about Ukraine coming to an agreement on a peace plan, which is humongous. So we have another update as well from Texas. 80 arrests were made in Harris County, Texas warrant roundup. I'm going to guess that this had to do something to do not only with warrants, but obviously I think that it probably came down to people that were, it could be, I don't know, I'm just assuming that it could be something to the effect of like illegal immigrants as well. But and then we have DC Mayor Bowser won't run for re-election in 2026. That's pretty incredible news as well. We got police pepper spray 2 lawmakers during Minnesota ICE raid. Typical Minnesotan fucking lawmakers up there, bro. I mean, they're the worst. They are the worst up there. And then we have White House denies report. Trump is considering Patel's firing. So as you guys know who Kash Patel is, yes, it is up for debate right now. Trump is deciding whether he's going to promote someone else to FBI director and drop Kash Patel, and I low-key think that may happen. All right, and then we have a police chase suspect takes off on foot in Los Angeles. Now, you guys always know those are really entertaining to watch, so we're definitely going to be watching a little bit of that. And then Trump on Ukraine, peace plan, healthcare, Comey, China visit, and more. He has a lot. I guess Trump speaks out and has a lot of things he covers there. And then we have some bad news in Houston. Tornadoes hit Houston. NWS confirms Twister touchdowns, and not good. I mean, it uprooted like trees and shit. I mean, it was powerful. And then as you guys see on not only the title as well as that is the thumbnail, LAX airline catering workers stage protest amid travel rush. And that just happened last night. We're going to be talking about that, obviously. Now we're going to be talking about a little something that happened this morning as well. Just an hour ago, several dead after fire erupts at high-rise towers in Hong Kong. Terrible news there to hear. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, real quick before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. You know what else is free? Is hitting that subscribe button if you're if you're new here. It's absolutely free. Please consider, though, becoming a member starting only at $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to be on these airwaves as well as have these lights on right now. So thank you guys for becoming members and staying members. Little side note, follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, all that great shit. It's a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. We also have a Discord server that Naomi will throw into the chat for you guys, as well as go down to the video description below for any of the invite links for the Discord or all the other links that are attached to my social medias and stuff like that. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live onto the show and shouted out. But if you guys would, like to consider, listen. Either way, I'm very appreciative, but YouTube does take a brutal 30% cut, and this is a great way to get around it. I have my email up, so if anything comes through, I'll read it out loud like a super chat, and so I very much appreciate you guys. All right, let's go ahead and get pretty much right into this. Good morning and good afternoon, good evening, wherever the hell you guys are from. Always appreciate all you legends showing up. We got Liquored Up with Poncho as well as SNS. We got Papa Penguin up in the building. Shout out to my man. We got Taylor as well as Carney's Ride. Steve, Easy, good morning, you guys. Always appreciate you guys. Let's see. We're scrolling down, trying to say hi to everybody. We got Time to Stand. What's up? Great to see you in the chat. We got Tolga as well. And also, I want to do a big thank you since I'm live here now. Motobomb, right before we started the show, he actually rated our show. So I very much appreciate you and the coffee crew. Always appreciate that. We got Carrie in the building. Shout out to you. We got Zip Tie. Good morning to you. Hopefully you're enjoying your mornings so far. Let's see. We are scrolling down and making sure we're catching up. I'm trying my best. We got Rabbit of Chaos. I'm way fucking behind on the comments. We got Sterling Wheel. Good morning. Good morning. Just trying to scroll through. We got Motobomb in the building. Cashin have never gotten that position, Stevie Z says. Time to Stand says Patel is awesome. See, it's very interesting how people, it's funny because I didn't think he necessarily should have gotten the position, but then he became, I thought he started doing some really good shit, but then I was like, oh, well, maybe he shouldn't have. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Mike, did you see Trump pardon the turkeys from the last administration since the Otto Penn's pardon are under investigation? That is hilarious, Steve. No, I didn't see that, but I did see that he did do the whole ritual of, pardoning a turkey or whatever, you know what I mean? Let's see here. We're trying to catch up with everyone else in here. We got Steve Posey, like I said. Great to see you in the chat, my man. All right, let's go ahead and get right into this. By the way, we've got 71 of you guys already in the building. I would very much appreciate it if you guys would hit the like button as well as double tap that screen if you're on the vertical side. Always appreciate, all of your engagement. You don't have to like the craziness around the world, but you guys can like it for what me and what we do here on this channel. So anyways, let's get to it.
Thanks for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. As I said, we want to continue on with our top stories that we're following today, putting this back up there from the Associated Press. But there has been some developing news as a top Ukrainian official said that his country and the United States have reached a common understanding on the core terms of an agreement to end the nearly 4 years long war. This is, of course, between Russia and Ukraine. Those final negotiations.
Yeah, Papa Penguin, it's already upped itself to 90.
Negotiations are set to take place between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Trump by the weekend. And so to talk a lot more about what we're seeing here and the effects of this, I want to bring into the conversation with CSIS, the senior fellow, Mayor Maria Snegovia. Maria, thanks so much for being with us here on Live Now.
How do you say that? Snegovia? Snegovia.
Fox. Thank you for having me. Let's talk about the very basics. It was breaking news this morning as it came out that the Ukrainian side of things had tentatively agreed to this peace deal that had been put out there by the United States. What was your first reaction to hearing the news? And
yeah, I mean, it's tentative. So just so you guys know, basically Ukraine has agreed to this Trump's peace plan, but they did have a couple of things that they wanted to work out. There was a couple of points, very minor stuff. It wasn't, according to the administration. It's not some crazy dramatic difference here. I mean, Ukraine actually agreed on the peace deal.
Really, is this something that was expected to come at this point?
Well, Ukraine is not in a great position.
Yo, Papa Penguin coming in hot and dropping 5 gifted memberships. Yo! Oh, man, I very much appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Man, that goes a long way. Not only helps me, but helps 5 others in the Breakfast Club, man. So thank you very much for that, kind sir.
Right now, with heavily being reliant on Ukrainian weapons aid, in intelligence support, and not doing so great in the front line, is Russia's offensive, unfortunately, keeps advancing in Ukraine. So from that perspective, Ukraine is a weaker side, is being under pressure by the United States, is sort of expected to agree. The
SST,
ultimate conundrum here is what version of the document is Ukraine agreeing upon, because we've seen the 28-point peace plan allegedly proposed by the U.S. side. Later, we have
Bristol,
seen severe modifications that were introduced by European side. And the new version that has been negotiated between Ukraine and Europe, the significant change is actually more beneficial to Ukraine than the earlier version of the plan, so that may be not the worst possible outcome for Ukraine. The problem here is that, especially the key issues, right, Ukraine not joining NATO, which the European version sort of reverts, the huge territorial concessions that the original 28-point plan demanded, and other issues like cap.
Well, I mean, and some of those concessions, they are fairly big concessions on the Ukraine side, but it is something that they did agree to. I think there's going to be small little, like, hey, we need this little part of the region here, or whatever the case is. But there is a lot of concessions being made.
On, for example, Ukraine troops, all of that.
Or going to be made, I should say.
Has been sort of modified and softened in the European version, but the question is now whether it's acceptable to Russia, and the answer is most likely no.
And we know that things have not completely come to a close there either as it comes to the finality of this plan. I do want to put up this post we have from Caroline Leavitt, the White House press.
Absolutely not, Steve Easy. And I think he may have gotten enough geopolitical pressure, maybe pressure from his own country, his own people. Who knows what the actual deal is with that. But I do know that he is not a humongous, not all the Ukrainians are like behind him, you know what I mean? Like kind of thing. It's kind of like, yeah, as soon as this dickhead is, we're out of war, we're voting him out. Because, I mean, he did stall every bit of election until the wars ended, so.
Secretary. It says, over the past week, the United States has made tremendous progress towards a peace deal by bringing both Ukraine and Russia to the table. There are a few delicate but not insurmountable details that must be sorted out and will require further talks between Ukraine, Russia, and the United States.
And that came from Caroline Leavitt, by the way. And we got Frank in the building. Shout out to Frank. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning as well. Great to see you in the chat. And yes, we've got actually 150 in here now at this point. So make sure you guys double tap that screen on the vertical side and hit the like button on the horizontal. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's get back to this.
Maria, we know initially President Trump wanted to get all of this done by Thursday. That Thanksgiving deadline is what he had put out there. Now he's hoping to push it over the mark a little bit sooner. What do you expect to be some of the hangups there that are going to be the main focuses of those conversations coming this week?
Yeah, absolutely. The ambitious deadline proposed by U.S. President, I don't think is really possible, especially given that, as I said before, it's unlikely that the Russian side will be so agreeable. We've seen last night how that its horrible attacks on Ukraine are continuing as we speak, as we are negotiating. So Russia hasn't really shown a lot of flexibility.
And by the way, just so you guys know, because everyone's saying, hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving. By the way, we're going to be live tomorrow morning still. We're still going to do our morning show and do what we do here, but I know that a lot of you guys can't make it because it's the holiday, so totally understand, by the way, if you guys can't make it. Always appreciate your guys' engagement in the chat.
Here. The key issues pertain to, first of all, territorial provisions. Russia wants the rest of Donetsk region, about 25% of the territory that it's not controlling at the moment in Ukraine.
And Brian, that is a very possibility right there. I mean, that is possible, absolutely, and it still absolutely could happen.
Understandably, is not eager to give up its own territory, opening potentially further opportunities for Russia to advance deeper into Ukraine. There is the NATO membership issue because Russia wants Ukraine to forever renounce NATO in its constitution. Ukraine doesn't want to do that, and a lot of the Ukraine struggle right now and the exploration is based.
Ukraine needs to fucking get out of the mindset of joining NATO. They need to get out of that. I mean, that shit is bullshit.
One possibility of future joining NATO. Military limits. Russia has very severe caps on weaponry at Ukraine's disposal and the troops. That is obviously Ukraine something it doesn't want to give it up because there's threat of Russia's future aggression very much present.
What's up, Tiffany? Good morning.
And of course, the security guarantees. That is the issue that has to do like about the future. What is the guarantees that the West is able to offer to Ukraine against future Russian attacks? There's a lot of debate about that, and perhaps.
Two-Wheel Jesus, good morning.
Sanctions, frozen assets. The original U.S. plan actually was quite restrictive for Russia, perhaps not ideal, in that most of the frozen assets will be used for a constitution of Ukraine and some profit for the United States. It's unclear whether Russia will be eager to agree to that. I will also flag there's another issue that has to do with the amnesty. So sweeping amnesty for Russia and Ukraine, especially in light of the human rights violations and crimes that Russian troops have committed on Ukraine's territory, I do not think Ukraine will be eager to accept that. So as you can see, there's a lot of issues that are not ideal for both Ukraine and Russia. And so I would not anticipate prompt conclusion to this new round of peace negotiations.
And it's important that you added all of that context, Maria. Thank you. And
I also agree with the sentiment, Steve Easy. A very good point, by the way. We also need to get out of NATO. Absolutely. We need to be out of every bit of organizations that take our fucking money and it leaves the American people. Swear to God.
We also know that this is happening as well. Right now, U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, he's currently in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates discussing the plan with the Russian delegation. Ukraine also sent officials there to the UAE, according to a U.S. official, but it's not immediately clear who is exactly participating in these talks for the two sides. If history tells us anything, Maria, in the past, how have these conversations gone behind the scenes between the two countries when it comes down to nailing down some of these agreements that they want to ultimately have peace?
I would flag that there are still irreconcilable differences, in my opinion, that exist between the two sides. What Putin describes the origin of the conflict, that Russia is a fundamentally revisionist country that wants to...
Man, this is, I mean... She's not too far off here, but yeah.
Revise not just like has a different attitude towards Ukraine's sovereignty, but also European security is very much still there, and it's very hard to envision the sort of security guarantees that the West is able to offer to Ukraine to prevent Russia from future aggression against Ukraine. Just a reminder, it's the fifth war Vladimir Putin has.
Yeah. Sounds good. You in the chat. Sounds good.
Started during his quarter-century rule, and there's no indications that he's willing to stop here. So from that perspective, I would not be
only gave those fucking assholes $1 trillion last year.
Really optimistic about the future of these negotiations.
And when it comes to what happens behind the scenes,
for us to get zero benefit, by the way,
with these negotiations, as these peace talks are going on and these tentative plans are in place, we do know also what happened this morning. You touched on it briefly, but there was also an attack. There was a side of Russian aggression that happened. So I want to put this up on folks' screen. So in case they missed some of the video footage. But again, several people were killed in this attack. We heard about it there from Volodymyr Zelensky a bit earlier today. Is this likely to continue on while there is nothing firm in place?
Unfortunately, yes. And if anything, Russian attacks of Ukraine has scaled up significantly in the last months. Russia is pushing forward in its current way.
You know, Steve Posey, that is a great point, homie. You're making a good, valid argument here. I hear you. Let's go ahead and fix the issue here. We got a couple of them here rolled up. Shit.
Denied.
By the way, for you ladies and gentlemen, since we're on a pause here, why not?
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck ups when you have tomorrow's fuck ups to look forward to? You are a fuck up, and fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.
Facts.
Oh my God!
All right, back to this.
It's offensive on the ground. It's intensifying its attacks. It's significantly scaled up production of drones and missiles, which allows it to, unfortunately create even more destructions for Ukraine. It also very heavily damaging Ukraine's energy infrastructure. So the idea is to basically
What's up, Chris Lestrange in the building? Shout out to my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your, for you over there in South Africa, it's in the afternoon right now. So hopefully you're enjoying your afternoon. Always appreciate you. And by the way, I hate these assholes that come up here. I mean, they're fucking straight up retarded, asking me stupid ass questions like this. No, it's America only, motherfucker. That's all I give a shit about. America only. Fuck Russia and fuck Ukraine. How about that?
Ukraine to the maximum extent possible in order to force Ukraine to make maximalist concessions. Well, hopefully with the assistance of the Western allies, Ukraine will be standing its ground and continue essentially to push forward those options that are more favorable for it and defend it against future Russia's aggression.
And then we have the post there on the screen from Volodymyr Zelensky talking about it. He says the Russians launched 22 missiles of various types, including aeroballistic ones and more than 460 drones, most of them Russian-Iranian formed there as well. Shaheds, that's what they're called. So that is no.
What's up, brother TVT? And yes, very interesting right here. So right now in Kyiv, our first responders are working at the sites of Russian strikes. As you guys know, they're 2 hours before the peace deal was agreed upon, there was a big strike that had happened, multiple strikes, I mean, from missiles and from their Shaheds, which are the Iranian drone that is made and sold, or essentially given from Iran to Daddy Putin, who runs the entire axis of resistance, essentially. But anyways, the Russians launched 22 missiles of various types, including aeroballistic ones, and more than 460 drones, most of them Iranian Shaheds. Now, as you guys know, we actually read this tweet yesterday. They're reiterating it, so I will too.
That those 4 types of drones have crossed into the airspace of their neighbors as well, Moldova and Romania.
It is, Papa.
With the exact overflight times confirmed. I have to ask you, because there is a European element to all of this. Of course, you mentioned it briefly a bit earlier. The Europeans had their own plan for peace, but he talked about now these drones have entering other European nations, the airspace of there. How does that all affect it in this conflict as it's trying to come to a close?
Well, shit. I mean, we all kind of understand where those are questions that we're already going to know about. All right, so let's go ahead and move on, though, because we have a humongous morning. We have a lot to get through this morning, as you guys know, that I read off all the stories that we're going to be covering this morning at the top. But nonetheless, 80 arrests made in Harris County, Texas warrant roundup. Let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and talk about it a little bit here and figure out what the fuck is going on. All right.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to present some remarks, and then I'll follow up briefly with some remarks in Spanish, and then we'll continue with the program. But good afternoon, and thank you for being here. I'm Ed Gonzalez, the Harris County Sheriff. Today, the Harris County Sheriff's Office, in close part.
What's up, Miss Lotus? Great to see you in the chat. And what does UR mean? You do realize you didn't give Ukraine money. What are you fucking talking about? We absolutely did give Ukraine money. We gave billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. What are you talking about?
Partnership with the FBI, the DA, Houston Division, and the U.S. Marshal Service and the Texas Department of Public Safety is announcing the results of a major multi-agency warrants roundup targeting violent fugitives across our region. These operations require...
And this is the last time I'm addressing you, and if you want me to address you anymore, you can send in money. America only means our money goes to the benefit of U.S. citizens. That's what it means. That's what it means. If it's not in the interest of the United States citizen and U.S. taxpayer, then I have no interest in it.
Our planning, intelligence, teamwork, and trust. Over the past several days, our agencies joined forces to track down and arrest people wanted for sexual assault, crimes against children, aggravated robbery, and other violent felonies. In total, during this operation, there were 80 arrests and 103 warrants cleared. 96 of these warrants were for felony charges and 53 were for crimes against children. These outcomes reflect our joint commitment to protecting victims and holding violent offenders accountable. Just as important, we know this work will stop these suspects from inflicting more harm on our neighbors, friends, and families. When warrants are issued for these violent crimes, every day the target remains free is another day for them to hurt someone. We can't let that happen. One of the most significant arrests made through this initiative involves Joshua Aaron Gomez, and his case demonstrates exactly why operations like this are critical to community safety. The Harris County Sheriff's Office Adult Special Crimes Unit, along with multiple agencies across Texas, has been investigating Gomez for an alleged pattern of sexual assaults, indecent...
Real quick, you guys don't have to like all the craziness and that's happening around the world, but we've got 233 of you guys in the chat right now. Make sure you guys double tap that screen to hit that like button on the vertical side. Hit the like button on the horizontal. Very much appreciate you guys.
Assaults, indecent exposures, and coercive, manipulative conduct dating back to 2019. Gomez, who is 43, has been linked to three sexual assault victims and multiple additional complaints of misdemeanor sexual offenses across several Texas counties. The known allegations span 2019 through 2025, showing a repeated and escalating pattern of predatory behavior. Although his chiropractic license was stripped in 2019 for inappropriate procedures on women, Gomez continued presenting himself as a licensed medical professional targeting women suffering from pregnancy complications, car crashes, or other injuries. Under the guise of treatment, he used that position of trust to assault them. To date, 13 women have come forward, and multiple felony sexual assault charges have been filed, one in Hidalgo County in the Rio Grande Valley, and two here in Harris County, with more
Oh, shit. Real quick, my man, I'm super sorry. We got Brother Lee Lance coming in with the $5 Cash App saying for Wacky Wednesday. Bro, I very much appreciate you making it rain in the Cash App, man. Hell yeah, let's go. Thank you,
During
sir.
this operation, our detectives served a warrant for an assault committed in 2019. The Violent Persons Warrant Task Force located Gomez at his home in Katy and safely took him into custody. Because of the volume of allegations, the pattern of conduct, and the
And Miss Lotus just sent in $10 saying, Happy Thanksgiving. Let's go. Miss Lotus. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate that. And that goes a long way right there. So thank you for also making it rain in the Cash App.
Escalation over time, we believe there may be more survivors who have not yet come forward. Some may not recognize that what happened to them was criminal because Gomez exploited his position to prey on them. This case is a stark reminder of why coordinated operations matter. We're not just clearing warrants. We are protecting survivors. We are interrupting cycles of violence, and we are making sure those who harm others cannot continue doing so.
Okay, so that's great, but I want to know what they actually went after these people for. What kind of warrant? Just any type of warrant for their arrest? It was just a warrant roundup. So on Tuesday, they said they have made 80 arrests as part of this warrant roundup so far. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and listen to this guy thank every agency that's involved in this. So we're going to skip ahead, see if we can get anything out of it. If we can't, then we're going to move right on into D.C. Mayor Bowser won't be running for re-election in 2026.
Of the U.S. Marshal Service and the Texas Department of Public Safety. But ultimately, what was sent out is that the Harris County Sheriff's Office, alongside those federal and state partners, are talking about the results of that multi-agency warrants roundup targeting violent fugitives. The initiative focused on individuals who were wanted for aggravated robbery, sexual assault, crimes against children, and other violent felony offenses. This coordinated effort, they said, did aim to remove dangerous individuals from the community and highlight the ongoing collaboration between the Harris County Sheriff's Office and its law enforcement partners to protect victims and ultimately strengthen public safety.
Well, I mean, I think that that's a pretty easy thing to be able to convince people of. We got Joseph up in the building saying happy Thanksgiving to all my Americanos, and then stop the cat.
Stop the cat.
Shit. Appreciate you coming in the chat and hanging out with us on the Facebook side,
Made
man.
the announcement there at the beginning saying that ultimately 80 arrests were made in this case. Let's continue to listen in.
We don't need to hear more than that. I mean, they're not really going to give us any more information than that right there. These guys were bad guys. We had to go get them. Yeah, so anyways, that's what's happening. So let's go ahead and move on. D.C. Mayor Bowser won't run for re-election in 2026. Let's go ahead and bring this up. And Brian, happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody as well in the chat. All right, let's go ahead and bring this up.
All right, welcome back here to Alive Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. Some breaking news right now out of Washington, D.C. as the mayor, Muriel Bowser, will not seek yet another term. I do want to put up this here on Live Now from Fox from our EarthCam partners just past 5 o'clock local time. Let's take you quickly out to our Fox 5 team, breaking it all down, what this means for the city and exactly.
We got Mr. J.R. Bowling in the chat. Man, what an honor. We got the future senator of Alabama right here, man. Very much appreciate you. Hopefully you're enjoying your hump day morning so far. Definitely know that we are. By the way, we got 206 of you guys watching. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Let's go, man. Very much appreciate your engagement and your laborious work on that.
Why this decision was made.
And keep winning for D.C. Thank you, D.C.
Oh boy, here we go.
Massive shakeup in D.C.'s political landscape. After years in office, Mayor Muriel Bowser says she will not be seeking a fourth term. The news now throwing next year's mayoral race wide open.
Fox 5's Tom Fitzgerald live at the Wilson Building. And Fitz, the last time you asked the mayor about a fourth term, she said she still hadn't made up her mind.
Marina, that is correct. When the mayor appeared on Fox 5's On the Hill, she was pressed about running for...
There's 4 different streams going on, by the way, just so you know. Big homie. Shit. Stupid fuck.
A 4th consecutive term, and at the time she said, I'm running until I'm not running. Well, she made it official tonight, Bowser announcing that she will not seek what would have been an historic, unprecedented 4th term as the mayor of the District of Columbia. As it stands now, Bowser will leave office at the end of her current term, which expires in January of 2027. Now, there have been rumors and stories and questions circling around the Wilson building about this for weeks and months. Would she or would she not run for re-election? Well,
no, right now it's 189 on YouTube right now in total.
In D.C. politics, this has been question number 1. In this video posted on X today by the mayor, she ran down what she saw was her accomplishments as mayor. Of course, the big deal to bring the Washington Commanders back to D.C. and build a new stadium at RFK. But she also pointed to other things like putting D.C. on solid financial ground. Tonight, the mayor explained to the voters of the District of Columbia who returned her to office several times why she's made this move.
So it says Muriel Bowser won't run for 4th term as D.C. mayor. And by the way, since Naomi threw this down, let's go ahead and make you guys obey.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
It has been the honor of my life to be your mayor. But today, with a grateful heart, I am announcing that I will not seek a 4th term. When you placed your trust in me 10 years ago, you gave me an extraordinary opportunity to have a positive impact on my hometown.
Of course, the mayor's decision not to run does not happen in a vacuum. 2025 has brought increasing political pressure on the mayor. Not only...
Oh my God, all of you guys are spamming me right now. That's hilarious.
All right, just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
That shit is hilarious.
Denied. Only from Republicans who control the Congress, who have been upending local D.C. laws, but also from the White House. Remember President Trump declaring that crime emergency in August and then mandating a slew of changes throughout the district. Residents as well have criticized the mayor of late for cooperating, some say too much, with the administration, as she also faced backlash over policies that led to that crime spike in 2023. Just moments ago, D.C. Council Chair Phil Mendelson reacted to this big political news.
I would say my reaction is grateful and sympathetic. So grateful because of 12 years of service as mayor, sympathetic in that she spoke of some of the stresses, and I've certainly seen that.
Okay, so
all right, so I think that we get the point here. I think we get the point.
About this, Muriel Bowser, the mayor, will not seek yet another term. It'll be interesting what candidates come forward, which candidate ultimately gets that seat.
What's up, Hardwire? Good morning, kind sir.
As Muriel Bowser has been so cooperative, agreeable with the president in that crime crackdown in our nation's capital. We'll see if the next mayor has a same kind of viewpoint on all of this. We're hearing now on social media also from the mayor about this breaking news, saying, quote, it has been the honor of a lifetime to be your mayor. My full letter to the community, as she says, for 10 years, you and I have worked together on an ambitious agenda to restore faith in our government, ensure that every D.C. resident gets their fair shot they deserve. She says, she goes on.
No, isn't it 877 cash now? That's what it is. 877 cash now.
I've had immense privilege of working alongside
877
all of you, the
cash
residents
now.
of D.C. Every day I gain strength from witnessing your hard work, your ingenuity, and your pride in this city. You're the very heartbeat of this place we call home. I do want to take you out to her statement on social media here on Live Now from Fox as she made it just a little bit ago.
All right. That's enough of this.
You and I have worked together on an ambitious agenda to restore faith in our government.
Oh, boy.
And ensure that every D.C. resident gets the fair shot they deserve. To keep that promise, we took big swings, keeping DC teams in DC, raising enrollment and graduation rates in our schools, and investing more money in housing than any other city or state, creating 36,000 homes. We delivered on big projects like McMillan and St. Elizabeth's and invested nearly $1 billion in Ward 8, including the brand new full-service Cedar Hill Regional Medical Center. We drove unemployment to its lowest levels.
Hey, big homie, I very much appreciate that, kind sir. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Welcome in, and hopefully you enjoy your stay. We do this Monday through Friday, reporting the world news, geopolitics, U.S. politics, breaking news, all that great shit. We do it, we consolidate everything into 1 hour. You know what I mean? That's what it's great about here. We skip through a lot of the bullshit that's presented through the mainstream media, as you guys know, the lamestream. So anyways, very much appreciate that.
Achieved a AAA bond rating and strong reserves.
What's up, Brother Lee?
Quadrupled CBE spending and completed the largest infrastructure project in our city's history with the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge. We also brought our city back from the ravages of a global pandemic and summoned our collective strength to stand tall against bullies who threaten our very autonomy while preserving home rule. That is our North Star. Throughout this remarkable journey, I've been honored to serve with countless dedicated city executives and extraordinary frontline workers, the incredible people who keep DC thriving every single day. For their bold vision, big ideas, personal sacrifices, and relentless pursuit of excellence and service to the city, I am deeply grateful. I've also had the immense privilege of working alongside all of you, the residents.
Oh my goodness.
A few moments later.
Just get it over with, lady. It's almost over.
Of DC. Every day I gain strength from witnessing your hard work, your ingenuity, and your pride in this city. You are the heartbeat of this place. Now looking to the future, I know we've laid the groundwork for others to build upon, to reshape and grow DC's economy, establish DC as the 51st state, and protect our investments in affordable housing, transportation, public safety.
You know, it almost makes me feel like these politicians that have been doing this, you know, saying that they're not running again and all this stuff, it makes me think that these politicians are even using AI to an extent because they're just extremely monotone and did that the same almost sad sounding.
In public schools, and to build a world-class stadium, housing, recreation, and parks at RFK. It has been the honor of my life to be your mayor. But today, with a grateful heart, I am announcing that I will not seek a fourth term.
Okay, sounds good. Please be over with it.
You placed your trust in me 10 years ago. You gave me an extraordinary opportunity to have a positive impact on my hometown. Every day since, I've cherished the opportunity and have happily...
Beautiful bill. It's hard. I know. It's giving me emotional damage, actually.
Emotional damage! Given all my passion and energy to the job that I love. Together, you and I have built a legacy of success of which I'm intensely proud. And for the next 12 months, let's run through the tape and keep winning for DC. Thank you, DC.
All right,
rough.
Why are you gay?
Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Police pepper spray 2 lawmakers during Minnesota ICE raid. What is it? What is going on with these people? Especially up there in the north. You guys are wild up there, especially Minnesota. Guys just fighting the wrong fight up there. But anyways, police pepper spray 2 lawmakers during Minnesota ICE raid. Let's check out what's happening.
All right, so we're still following this closely here on Live Now from Fox as we're diving into the latest as chaos erupted there in St. Paul as federal police operation involving ICE attracted a large group of protesters. Not exactly clear what prompted the action, but several people suffered injuries. At least one individual was arrested. Let's take you live there on the ground in the Twin Cities by Fox 9's Corin Hoggard. Corin, thank you so much for joining us. What can you tell us about what happened today?
Yeah, Andy, a lot of the details are still unclear. We do know that most of it happened right behind me right here in the Payne-Phelan neighborhood of St. Paul. There were hundreds of protesters and dozens, if not hundreds, of police officers.
You know what's scary about that, Crystal? Is I had it, I think, on 1.25 times speed. It was actually sped up, and that's how slow she was talking still.
officers out here. It started as a federal operation. We know Homeland Security was out here, ICE was out here, the federal marshals were out here. Do not know who was leading the operation or what they were targeting here at all. But at some point, St. Paul police officers got a report that there were rocks being thrown at the federal officers. And so St. Paul officers descended on this place. And that's where the main chaos really erupted. We had St. Paul police officers all seemed like they were armed with pepper spray, and they were using it pretty liberally. You know, they did say that there were rocks thrown at some of the agents. They did say that some of the St. Paul police officers were being approached aggressively by some of these protesters out here. I will say, though, at least one of the people who I saw who had gotten pelted by non-lethal projectiles and hit with pepper spray was a journalist from the local NPR radio station. Also, two of the people who got pepper sprayed are state representatives who represent the St. Paul area, and they told me that they were right up to a line where police had established a perimeter where some of the federal agents were talking to someone who was involved in the operation somehow, and somebody had a foot up against the line, and instead of asking them to back up, they said the St. Paul police officers...
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, James, the North, especially Minnesota is just terrible. I mean, I don't understand why they wanted to ruin their state, let alone, I mean, this country, but their state. Like, why would they do that to themselves, you know? And all these people vote these idiot fucks into Congress, and it's like, the people are at fault for this too. That's what they all want. It's fucked.
Just pepper sprayed everyone. So
not all, but you know what I mean.
Saw a couple state representatives in tears shortly after that happened. They were in front of the house where that one arrest was made. We don't know exactly what that arrest was based on. I did talk to some of the family members out there and a lawyer who said he represented the man. From what they were saying, this person was involved in some sort of a hit and run.
What's up, KP?
Yesterday, and happens to be from Honduras. And that is really the extent of what we know. ICE, of course, doesn't really give any details about their operations.
Like what?
St. Paul Police,
What's up, Lone
we're still
Wolf?
waiting to hear from them, although they said that they'd put out a press release here. Haven't heard that yet. And the family members of the man who was arrested said that they would put on a press conference, but we're still waiting for that to happen, too. So you know how these situations tend to be. We don't get a lot of information. There's a lot of speculation.
Of course. Well, there's going to be speculation all over the place, as you guys always know. But we got a Gorilla Piss in the building as well. Good morning. Hopefully you're enjoying your hump day morning as well.
And, you know, rumors kind of fill the gap, and I'm trying not to give you any of the rumors here, but that is all we have at this moment.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Even the governor, Tim Walz, who posted this on social media saying they're working to monitor the situation. They received no heads up from federal authorities on this.
Oh, boy. Now here comes Tim Walz and his tweet. We are monitoring the situation in St. Paul and the working to understand what's unfolded. We received no heads up from federal authorities on this operation. While we are always willing to work together on public safety, that is clearly not what this chaotic situation was about. Oh, boy.
They received no heads up from federal authorities on this operation. So, Corin, you're not alone. Very few people are aware of what's going on, especially at the state level. I do want to ask you, what led you guys to the scene? Because obviously you have that video of what was going on. You saw the protest. How did people learn that this was all happening?
Yeah, there is a good network of folks who find out when these operations are taking place, and I'm curious myself where they're getting a heads up, but some of them started posting on social media, and we headed right over here when we saw that. I don't know how they get tipped off that there's an operation, but that is where we get a lot of our information, knowing where to go for. This is the second one in 2 weeks here in St. Paul, and so it seems like there is some kind of active activity out here. The first one, we still don't know exactly what happened there either, although there were a couple of arrests in that case as well. It looks like there may be some type of criminal investigation.
Yes, I did absolutely do it for the first time. I went to Cracker Barrel for the very first time ever. Like, I don't know, what, 2 days ago? 2 days ago? 3? Something like that.
Just happens to involve ICE in, you know, search warrant service or something along those lines.
All right, Corey, my last question before I let you go, because we've kind of chronicled some of these around the country. You mentioned the second or third time in a couple weeks. Is this a frequent occasion to kind of be reporting on a potential ICE operation? Is this something that you see frequently in the Twin Cities?
I can say they haven't been common, but that is definitely something we have been anticipating, both on the political side and then here on the streets of the Twin Cities, because you know, the politicians here have been anticipating ICE being sent into town. Right now, we haven't gotten word that there's actually some kind of full-scale ICE operation here. It seems to be, you know, little operations involving
little pockets of operations that are happening, you know, specific. Let's see. Fox 9 tweets out, a large crowd gathered in St. Paul neighborhood amid a federal law enforcement operation in St. Paul that was protesters believe was an ICE raid. St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter went to the scene to assess what happened and said he's still trying to sort the events out. Interesting. And this is him right here, actually, giving a little speech. Something like
ICE
this.
operation.
Let's see.
We're trying to figure out. Just do a quick recap. We're trying to figure out what happened. The ICE agents showed up in St. Paul the way they have before, and the way they are in other communities and things like that. And you know, we're trying to get our.
Hey, be good and safe out there, Papa Penguin. Always appreciate you. And yeah, man, be safe out there. And we got Pablo up in the building, becoming a member. Always appreciate my man right here, man. Let's go. Thank you for making it rain in the chat, man. Welcome.
What about the community?
Oh, real quick, and we got Department of Numismatics. We got Mr. Boulay, Alabama's finest, coming in with the 10 gold spot, by the way, saying everyone be safe and have a great Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much, my man. Thank you for that. Making it rain, motherfucker. Absolutely. You hear that? You hear the coins, man? Yeah. Yes, sir. All right, back to this.
Any reaction? Have you got any handle on that?
Community members are frustrated, and you know, this is what we see ICE agents doing all over the country: is showing up, creating havoc, creating chaos, and leaving us with, you know, leaving local communities trying to figure out how to kind of navigate the trauma that they create, and that's part of the troubling practice that they're creating. I will say that we just saw chemical munitions and things like that were used, and one of the things.
I like how he said that. Chemical. What did he say? Chemical something.
Chemical munitions and things like that.
Ammunitions? Munitions? I don't know, but pepper spray, you mean, motherfucker.
That were used, and one of the things I share with the crowd is I have questions, same as everybody else does, about what precipitated that and why.
This is the motherfucking America.
I'm not going to try to, explain every single thing, or I'm not going to try to justify every single thing. That's why we have investigative processes. That's why we have body cam footage. That's why we have the use of force policies that we put in place. Frankly, I believe that our police department is good at holding ourselves accountable for actions, making sure that our actions kind of fall within kind of our use of force policies. I'm not suggesting that they don't, but I'm suggesting that what's important to me, what I've said from the beginning, is transparency, and so that we can fully understand what happens and why.
You may have already covered this, but two state reps, Athena Hollins and Leisha Kozlowski, told me that St. Paul police are the ones who pepper sprayed them. So does that raise your level of concern here?
I guess my level of concern started at a 10, so I don't know that my level of concern could be raised. It certainly gives us some action items to follow up on to understand what exactly precipitated that and to understand exactly why and how that happened. And like I said, I don't have the ability to speak on that one way or the other. I imagine our police department will be sharing something about kind of what precipitated that, but that's one of the
of course
questions that we'll have.
You guys weren't coordinating with the federal agents to begin with, were you? Or were St. Paul police coordinating?
No, the federal, they don't coordinate with us. They don't give us information in advance. They sort of, what they do nationwide right now is sort of just pop up on the scene and create chaos, that local community, and then leave, and local communities are stuck kind of trying to figure out how to sort out chaos. And so that's
some cope. It's not chaos. It's fucking law, dude. You come in, you go into a house that ain't yours. Yeah, the cops are gonna come in and fucking escort you the fuck out. That is what is happening as a country. What we're dealing with immigration right now.
Challenging for us, and it's unfortunate. I believe our officers, and again, there's a lot to sort through. I believe our officers got reports that somebody had been throwing rocks, that somebody had been walking streets and things like that. And just as I said from the beginning, our job is not to enforce immigration policy, and we don't enforce immigration policy anywhere in the city. If there's a report of somebody throwing rocks at somebody, it is our job to respond. It is our job to be there. It is our job to help to try to maintain a safe scene. And so that's what ended up bringing our officers into this space.
According to a lawyer who helped negotiate the surrender over here, this is all over a Honduras native who had a hit and run in St. Paul yesterday. Normally that would be a police agency, not federal agents investigating, I would think. Doesn't that seem abnormal to you?
All of this seems abnormal. to me. I don't have any specifics about kind of the details of this. Again.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Shit.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
All right, we're moving on. White House denies report Trump is considering Patel's firing. Let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and talk about this very shortly. So it's a very quick segment right here, because we still got to get to this police chase that happened on foot in Los Angeles, then Trump on Ukraine peace plan, healthcare, Comey, China visit, and more. We got tornadoes to get to. LAX airline catering workers stage protest amid travel rush, as well as several dead after fire erupts at high-rise towers in Hong Kong. Wow, we got a humongous lineup.
Headlines that we are bringing you this evening, talking about the FBI director. Is he going to be out or is he staying? If you ask the White House, he says he is definitely staying, but there was a new reporting that President Trump's relationship with Kash Patel may be loosening up just a little bit. I want to bring you these updates all right here on Live Now from Fox. The White House, though, today forcibly pushing back against an MS Now report that President Donald Trump was mulling the ouster of FBI Director Kash Patel. Today, MS Now published a report citing 3 unnamed sources claiming President Trump was considering removing Kash Patel as FBI director in the coming months as he and his...
Which I did see that all over social media yesterday. I mean, it was a big deal. It was being reported everywhere.
Trump aides have grown increasingly frustrated by the unflattering headlines Patel has recently generated. In that report, it mentions Patel has come under scrutiny for his stewardship of Bureau resources, including his girlfriend's security.
Correct.
Detail and use of a government jet and his...
Yeah, it wasn't just exactly. It was the use of a jet for her travels, her security detail, all of it.
For his squabbles with other Trump loyalists, MS Now wrote in their report. Trump and White House aides have confided to allies that the president is eyeing removing Patel and is considering top FBI official Andrew Bailey as the Bureau's new director, according to the 3 people. Patel is described as being on thin ice, and his ouster appears closer than ever, with Bailey as the logical replacement. 2 of the sources with knowledge of the situation said in this report. The report included a statement from a White House spokesperson who said Patel was a critical member of the president's team, and he is working tirelessly to restore integrity to the FBI. And then this afternoon, Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, putting this out on X, saying this story is completely made up. In fact, when this fake news published, I was in the Oval Office where President Trump was meeting with his law enforcement team, including FBI Director Kash Patel.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I read the headline to the president and he laughed. He said, "What? That's totally false. Come on, Kash, let's take a picture to show them you're doing a great job. Do not believe the fake news."
What's up, Mount Woman?
So that is the White House responding to that claim from MS Now. And again, MS Now saying that they talked to 3 people within the White House that told them of these reports that President Trump might have been getting close to firing Kash Patel. So,
so you didn't hear me shout you out, Pablo? Well, here, I'll do it again, motherfucker. Shit. Well, thank you for becoming a member, my man. Always appreciate you. And yeah, that sucks that it booted you off. That's weird.
We'll keep an eye, of course, on this story for you right here on the Live Now from Fox as more details come. But the White House...
All right, so the White House is denying any of this, by the way. Trump is like, no, that's obviously not happening. Interesting, because I saw that being reported everywhere. All right, so anyways, police chase suspect takes off on foot in L.A. Let's go ahead and bring this up. You know this is going to be entertaining.
We also want to go out to some breaking news that we are seeing in the Los Angeles area. The police chase where the suspect just got out of the vehicle, bailed from this stolen van, and now police right now are trying to locate the suspect here. So they ditched out on the vehicle and now try to make it a foot pursuit here. So we are going to be continuing to follow this for you. As long as we have these Skyfox images, we'll stay on it until they have a suspect in custody. You see the police now trying to locate where this person went.
They're on foot
to right after bailing from this stolen van here. So the Skyfox is up. here, but now
okay, I'm scrolling through.
Doesn't seem like they got too far. Great vantage point here.
There's a lot of cops out here, man. I see a whole bunch of them out here already.
Skybox is giving us right now, and we are
scrolling ahead.
We want to again showcase that to you, but this happening right now, this active look here of the suspect van in park. We'll show that to you again, that moment, but you saw
they're still looking
this area right now. We're all about live online.
Oh, you're getting it live.
No doubt they're somewhere in this area. They feel Fox. I do.
Well, yeah, when they start focusing.
In Southern California, they've been known to go for long stretches.
So this guy was in this, like, what is that? Is that a hearse?
Of times.
No, okay. It looked like it on the bend there for a sec, but it's like this weird white van, whatever.
Times, but that suspect getting off the freeway there and then taking this exit and then finding that Southern California traffic, especially as we are just
got off on foot. There he goes.
Away from Thanksgiving, and then the suspect bails out of the vehicle, and we're going to just follow it for as long as this tape goes right now. And you can see that suspect take the sidewalks and just make a run for it. But Skyfox was over at the whole time.
Why is he still on the sidewalk?
Let's see the moment where we start to lose the suspect. That'll be interesting to showcase to everyone. And then, of course, on the right, you are looking at a live image trying to locate that suspect as well. But that suspect
is he going to hook this corner? What is he going to do here?
Blocks. You can see across Taylor area out high up.
Scrolling past. Oh, that's where he goes to an underpass.
Who, no doubt they hear
or overpass
above,
goes under it
as this person continues on right now. But you could see goes under the underpass. It looks like, and that looks to be maybe the moment where Skyfox as well as police lose the suspect.
So did they ever find this fucking guy? Let me scroll ahead.
He said enough's enough.
Oh, he did find him. No way. They found this motherfucker. No way. I can't believe they found him. I thought homie was gone. They got him. Holy fuck.
Skyfox has found the individual here that you can see that suspect.
It was at that moment.
On their knees with the hands behind the back.
Denied.
Great job by law enforcement. Skyfox able to find it as well.
What's up, Fredo? Good morning to you. Great to see you in the chat. Happy hump day to you.
And suspect there on his knees right there with his arms behind his head. And giving up right now. So he said enough's enough. The chase is over.
I did hear about that guy, the vice president.
The foot chase is over, and now the search is over as well. So great job by law enforcement again to find this individual that ditched out for the last moments of freedom for this individual this evening. But great shot there of Skyfox showcase. Now here comes doing the commands for the suspect.
Man, they really were on him. Look at that. They're doing the whole line and everything.
Listening to the demands of the officers. But we brought it again to you all right here on Live Now from Fox as it was happening. And right there, suspect now under arrest there. So great job by law enforcement able to.
All right. I can't believe they located his ass. All right. Trump on Ukraine, peace plan, healthcare, Comey, China visit as well. Let's go ahead and bring that up, and we'll discuss it real quick.
And welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page, continuing to bring you some of the day's biggest top stories and headlines. A little bit earlier, we were showcasing some audio version of President Trump speaking to reporters above the sky on Air Force One a little bit ago, but now we are getting the actual video of the exchange there with President Trump and the reporters. So let's listen in right now on Live Now.
Mr. President, on Air Force One.
How are you? Hi, how are you? Hi. What would you like to...
They have better audio this time.
to know today.
Can you start off by telling us the latest with Russia and Ukraine? Are you expecting Zelensky to come visit you?
We're having good, I don't know, he would like to come, but I think we should get a deal done first. We're having good talks. We started with Russia. We're having some talks with Russia. Ukraine is doing well. I think they're pretty happy about it. They'd like to see it end. And we won't know for a little while, but we're making progress. We settled 8 wars, and I thought this would be one of the easier ones because of my relationship with President Putin. But this is probably one of the more difficult ones. There's a lot of hatred.
You said there were a few points of disagreement that were still left to be.
Yeah, a few.
Can you tell us what those are?
Well, it's just standard things, but people are starting to realize it's a good deal for both.
Well, tell her I say hello as well.
Parties, if they got to stop the war, they're losing a lot of people, a lot of soldiers, mostly soldiers.
In that 28-point plan that was originally leaked, there were some portions of that that said that Ukraine.
Well, that was an original proposal, and then from there we went back and forth.
So when it comes to ceding land to Russia, is that still on the table, or has that changed?
Well, they're talking about going land both ways and trying to clean up a border. You know, you can't go through the middle of a house, you can't go through the middle of a highway. So they're trying to work something. It's a complicated process. Doesn't go that quickly.
Do you think what about security guarantees and?
Well, we're working that out with Europe. Europe will be largely involved in that. We're working that out with Europe. Europe really wants to see it end if possible.
There were a lot of Republicans who felt that the first 28-point plan was too favorable to Russia. Have you changed?
Well, that was just a map. All that was is a map. That was not a plan. It was a concept.
And this is inside of the 28-point plan that she brought up.
And from there, they've taken each one of the 28 points, and then you got down to 22 points. A lot of them were solved, and actually very favorably solved. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think that Ukraine was being asked to give too much land back to Russia? I know at one point you said they shouldn't have to give any back.
It's really up. Look, the way it's going, if you look, it's just moving in one direction. So eventually, that's land that over the next couple of months might be gotten by Russia anyway. So do you want to fight and lose another 50, 60,000 people? Or do you want to do something now? In some cases, the land is going in the other direction. So they're negotiating. They're trying to get it done. You want to have a border? You can't have a border that goes through a highway or a border that goes through the middle of a town. So it doesn't work. So it's a long, complicated process. And very sad because so many people have been killed.
What's the next step?
They're going to keep talking. They're talking to Russia now. Steve Witkoff is going over, maybe with Jared. I'm not sure about Jared going, but he's involved in the process. Smart guy, and they're going to be meeting with President Putin, I believe, next week in Moscow.
Next week in Moscow?
I think so.
What kinds of concessions are the
What's up, Stacks, my man? Hopefully you're enjoying your hump day morning so far. I definitely know that we are. Make sure you guys hit that like button, by the way. Always appreciate your guys' engagement as well. It helps out the show immensely. You guys don't have to like the craziness around the world, but you guys can like it for me and what we do here.
going to have to be?
Well, they're making concessions. They're big concessions as they stop fighting and they don't take any more land. Again, it's a war that would have never happened if I was president. This was not anything that was going to happen. This happened because of stupidity. It's too bad.
Mr. President.
Stupidity. Shit.
Stupid.
All right. Let's go ahead, and because we've got a lot to get through here, I'm not sure that we're going to get anything more out of this that we don't already know what's happening on all of these topics. And with him not having the best of audio, Air Force One always sucks having those interviews on Air Force One. They blow. I wish they would actually get some decent equipment. Nonetheless, tornadoes hit Houston. NWS confirms Twister touchdowns, and there was some damage. There was some big damage that was happening, it looked like. So,
welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Shauna Kalafi. Let's take a live look at the Houston area tonight. That's where our next story takes us. The National Weather Service confirming that 2
What's up, Brother Slim? Good morning to you. Great to see you.
Tornadoes touched down near the Houston area yesterday. And this is a tweet from the AP. It says more than 100 homes have been damaged after a tornado touchdown in a residential area outside of Houston. Authorities.
Damn, more than 100 homes have been damaged after a tornado touchdown in a residential area outside Houston. Authorities in Texas said Monday no injuries were reported. I mean, it tore them the fuck up.
Texas said Monday.
There was like trees uprooted and shit. I mean, it was fucking bad.
No injuries were reported. And we have Fox 26 Houston's Randy Wallace live right now, where some Harris County neighborhoods hit hard are now seeing extra patrols tonight from local authorities. So, Randy, what are you seeing there near Klein, Texas?
Yes, Shauna, now we are in Klein. People that are familiar, if you're familiar with the greater Houston area, Klein Spring are big suburbs, big neighborhoods that are just northwest of Houston. And it was neighborhoods like this one that hardest hit yesterday. As you can see, look at all this right here. And this is kind of the way it is in a lot of neighborhoods in this direct area. Also, there are still some people that have no power. Now, no electricity and damaged homes can put residents in a dangerous situation. Needless to say, that's why Precinct 4 deputies are making their presence known in tornado-damaged neighborhoods like this one. They want thieves to know that they are out and watching
that's a small
to make
tree,
sure
though.
that folks already reeling from the tornado do not become crime victims. Precinct 4 Captain Jose Garza says there's already been a lot of improvement.
From yesterday, where I would say the affected area had zero power,
What's up, Crystal? Good morning to you.
Estimating about 80% of the neighborhood probably has power again. What's behind me that has power did not have power hours ago. So I have already seen an improvement. There was a lot of areas we couldn't even drive in. We literally had to walk door to door to check on people. Now, I believe about 90% or 95% of the neighborhood is drivable. And like I said, and we are still removing debris off the roads, but we are coming back to a sense of normalcy as emergency services for power, water, gas, roads, that's all coming back, and we are making a tremendous progress.
Now, Captain Garza says these extra patrols will remain in place as long as they're needed.
See, what if they had this kind of microphone right here to use, like this? You can tell this is a good condenser microphone. Why don't they have something like this in Air Force One? You know, they're using some shitty $100 mic. Man, come on.
It's not to think that there are folks that live out here that 2 days away from Thanksgiving and they've got damaged homes, but the miraculous thing was there's been no reported injuries through this whole situation with the tornadoes. Shauna, back to you.
Yeah, definitely, Randy. Sad to see so many homes damaged, but like you said, very happy news that no injuries were reported. Thank you so much for that report.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to hear that there wasn't like death involved. Thank God for that. Now, here are some of the images here. You guys can actually see a fairly decent sized tree here. Yeah, I mean, it was totally uprooted. Crashed onto a car, of course, the neighbor's car or whatever, in the driveway. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Yeah, that sucks. That totally sucks. Anyways, we're going to move on. LAX airline catering workers stage protest amid travel rush. Let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and get right to it.
Welcome back into Live Now from Fox. I'm Shauna Kalafi.
Oh, real quick before we do, because it's so good.
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck-ups when you have tomorrow's fuck-ups to look forward to? You are a fuck-up, and fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.
Embrace the process.
Oh my God!
Now just days away from Thanksgiving, and as expected, our roads and our airports are getting busier. But one airport in particular tonight is getting hit extra hard. This is a live look outside of LAX, Los Angeles area.
Damn.
So you see traffic.
What it always looks like right here, this shit sucks. Dude, it's just the worst. LAX is miserable. And if you miss your gate and you have to circle back around, dude, there's nothing more something that can cause violence in me than shit like that. I fucking hate that shit. Thank God I got away from this shit.
Heading into the airport. We also know that tonight outside of LAX, we saw protests from airline catering workers. They held a protest tonight outside of the Century Boulevard near where the airport's pickup and drop-off areas are. We have this tweet from Fox 11 reporter Matt Seedorf. He said, LAPD has arrived with riot gear. Protesters still have the intersection
ready
closed.
to go.
That was about 2 hours ago.
And by the way, Warland, I used to fly in and out of SeaTac for work for a long while, actually. It was like maybe a year spread that I did that. But yeah, SeaTac sucks.
Was live there on scene reporting for Fox 11. We want to take a look at their coverage of this protest and that traffic backing up outside of LAX. Let's listen.
Across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11.
Dude, there is absolutely nothing in LA that I miss other than my family. I have my daughter in California, obviously. And then my friends, you know, stuff like that. Other than that, no, don't give a fuck about it.
Nowadays, hundreds of airline catering workers outside LAX. They're protesting unsafe working conditions and wage violations. Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Marla Tejas.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Diaz. Now, that protest happening right now as holiday travelers try to make their way to their destinations.
Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf. He's live at the airport with details. And Matthew, they're making a statement, but is it also impacting people as they try to get to the airport?
Yeah, they definitely made a statement. That protest wrapped up about an hour ago, but the road has since reopened, but definitely caused a traffic mess, and a lot of people voicing their frustrations tonight, this main artery into LAX. But if you go ahead and take a look, Elliot will show you, this is your, I think, typical...
Wow, here's the protest right here.
Holiday traffic. This is, again, one of the busiest travel nights of the year, going into one of the busiest airports in the world. Just 2 days before Thanksgiving, you can see traffic is now flowing. But take a look at this video. This is just about an hour and a half ago as protesters shut down this intersection at Century Boulevard near Avion. Just a major mess. This is a huge road, important road into LAX, closed by protesters, again, less than 2 days.
Damn, they actually shut down the roads, dude. That's fucked. Shutting down the road... I wouldn't advise that. I wouldn't do that. You guys should protest, yes. But cutting off traffic, bro? Why? Dude, these people are just trying to fucking pick up their grandma for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? From the airport. Give me a break.
For Thanksgiving, these protesters are airline catering group workers from the Flying Food Group and Unite Here Local 11.
Just do it out front of LAX. Just do it out front. Just stand there and pick it. Do your circles and all that shit over there. Why do you have to shut down the roads?
Demanding a new contract, alleging unsafe working conditions, broken equipment, and unfair pay. Again, this caused a huge traffic mess and frustrations to boil over in some spots. Police showed up in riot gear and opened it all around 6:30. One of the busiest travel days of the year.
Honestly, people don't care about people who make the food and put it on the planes. And so we wanted to make a statement.
Think about that.
Dude, if it's a good protest, it's a good cause, go for it, man. I don't care.
What do you think about this?
Well, we just landed from Chicago, and we got to the stoplight. We were just commenting how it was a smooth ride, easy to get home, and now this. So I don't know what's going on, some sort of strike, obviously, but just want to get home.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that family forced to walk about a half mile.
You're not getting the best of people when they're traveling, by the way. You don't get the best. Actually, human beings become, they become pieces of shit, especially when they travel. Especially. What's the first thing a motherfucker does when you want to fly? I don't care if it's 4 a.m, or actually you'd have to be 6 a.m. or whatever for most places, right? I think it's like that everywhere. But anyways, 6 a.m, first thing, I'm getting me a Jack and Coke, motherfucker. I'm getting hammered. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're not getting the best of people. All right. Several dead after fire erupts at high-rise towers in Hong Kong. This will be our final story for the morning. We have the Diamond Effect tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be a great time with Archbishop, Aaron, and myself. Anyways, so stick around as well after this final story. We're going to be rating you guys off to a buddy of ours. I haven't found out who's live yet, but we're going to obviously set that up. So
we have some
here we go.
breaking news to report at this time, as at least 13 people were killed after a fire ripped through several high-rise residential buildings in Hong Kong. We have live images coming into our studio right now. Take a look at this. The firefighters, they're still working to put out those flames. They have been burning for hours now. The Associated Press saying this, that 9 people were declared dead at the scene. 4 others were sent to the hospital and then later confirmed dead. At least 15 others were injured, and around 700 people have been evacuated to temporary shelters. The raging fire sent up a column of flames and thick smoke as it spread quickly on bamboo scaffolding, and construction netting that had been set up around the exterior of the housing complex in this district. Records show the housing complex consisted of 8 blocks with almost 2,000 apartments housing about 4,800 people. These are the live images right now, but we do have some video from earlier today where you can see the devastation as it all unfolded. Take a look at that.
Shit.
All of the
That's
fire and those flames
crazy.
just completely
fuck.
gutting through several of
That's
those
miserable.
apartment complexes. Now, videos from the scene
Terrible.
showing multiple buildings close to each other set ablaze with bright flames and smoke shooting out of many of the apartment's windows as the night fell. Authorities said hundreds of firefighters, police officers, and paramedics were deployed, and video showed firefighters aiming water at the intense flames from high up on ladder trucks. The blaze started mid-afternoon, and after nightfall, authorities upgraded it to a level 5 alarm, the highest level of severity, according to the fire services department. The fire was still raging late into the night, and authorities said conditions remained very challenging for firefighters.
That's terrible.
Now, it is not immediately known what caused the fire. Officials said the fire started at the external scaffolding of one of the buildings and later spread to inside of the building and also to nearby blocks, likely aided by winded conditions. The department said it received numerous calls requesting assistance.
Just for context, this just came out 2 hours ago.
And some residents remain trapped as of Wednesday night local time, so still at this hour. But take a look at that. That footage coming in from Tommy Hui via Storyful. And you can really see just how devastating that was earlier on today. But that fire, as we have been mentioning, still continuing to burn at this time. We're taking you back out to the live images. Several of those apartment complexes from inside of the building you can see are still bright orange with those flames.
Yeah, I mean, look how many rooms are lit up. I mean, that's a lot of rooms that you can see through the windows. Lit up, glowing. That's terrible.
Continuing on in there. Firefighters
just smoldering.
Deployed about 128 fire trucks and 57 ambulances to the scene. The dead included one firefighter and another was being treated for heat exhaustion, according to the Fire Services Department director. District officials there in Tai Po have opened temporary shelters for people left homeless by the fire. Tai Po is a suburban area in the New Territories in the northern part of...
Damn, it caught 2 other adjacent buildings on fire as well? No way. Oh my God. Is that what we're seeing here? Is this building right here this is not all one building, I'm guessing now. These are 3 different high rises, right?
Of Hong Kong.
Damn.
And it is near the border with the mainland Chinese city of Shenzhen. Bamboo scaffolding is a common sight in Hong Kong at building construction and renovation projects, though the government said earlier this year that it would start phasing out some of that scaffolding for public projects because of safety concerns. So we just wanted to showcase this breaking news and a developing story that we are following very closely, as still the live image.
You almost don't. It's out of control, and those kind of fires are extremely scary right there, man. Do you know how many personal belongings and I mean, not only people unfortunately dying on that level, but as well as how many belongings, everything that people own is in their fucking houses, you know what I mean? Or their apartment or whatever the case is. That's their shit, man. Everything they've earned and worked for and maintained, just terrible, just crushing.
Is coming out of Hong Kong show that the fire is still burning bright as it engulfed several high-rise residential buildings. At last check, at least 13 people were killed. Several hundred others have been evacuated.
So 13 so far have been killed, and hundreds obviously have been evacuated. I would assume, obviously, not only probably all 3 high-rises, but if there's any other high-rise around, I bet you they even evacuated them too.
Temporary shelters, at least 15 people have been injured.
Wow, just terrible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our morning. I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough for allowing us to be able to do this Monday through Friday. And then, of course, Saturday morning for you guys, that are members. That's my way of being able to give back to you guys in the membership program, man. So I'm very appreciative. Thank you guys for hitting that like button on the way in, the way out. Doesn't matter. You know, you guys did it. Stick around. We're going to be rating our buddy Rob Knorr. He's live right now. He's a great political commentator. And I had the pleasure of being able to actually meet him at DebateCon. It was a great time. So anyways, remember, always embrace your fuck-ups. And until, tonight, actually, we'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we'll be back for more of the news shit, what we do, presenting news, tomorrow morning. So anyways, much love, honor, respect, everyone. God bless everyone. We'll talk to you guys.
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck-ups when you have tomorrow's fuck-ups to look forward to? You are a fuck-up, and fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.